Welcome to Strange Travels. I'm Lauren, and that's Clint, and we're from Nashville. We love to travel, whether it's a day trip or to another country. We love seeking out new experiences, hiking with our dog Lilly, and finding amazing food along the way. In our last video, we kicked off a road trip with Lilly to Charleston, trying award-winning barbecue, took a historical walking tour of Charleston, and ended the day with a classic 80-year-old Deep South recipe. In today's video, we start our second day in Charleston at a restaurant that has been paving the way for a new generation of low country cooking in the city and the entire South. We share what we learned about a lesser known but significant figure in Charleston's history. And of course, we finish our day with more seafood out of an old body shop. Here we go.
So it is a rainy, chilly morning here in Charleston. There's no better way to warm it up than with some coffee.
Okay, we went to Harken Cafe. Looked like a really good place to stop and get some coffee. It was definitely busy, so I think we made a good choice. I got a pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, I got an Americano. We didn't get anything to eat, but the food in there, all the pastries, everything they had looked really good. But we didn't get anything to eat because we have big plans for brunch today. After coffee, we came back to the hotel. It is still rainy, which means we've done a little bit of what Lily's doing right now. Yes, we bring a blanket for her so that she can claim her spot on the bed, just like she does at home.
Spoiled rotten.
And we were able to do a little bit of work. We actually just posted our Tuscany wine tour from our time in Florence, Italy. So if you've seen that video, that gives you a little bit of an idea of when we actually film things to when it gets posted. But if you've been watching since then, thank you. A, wow, thank you. B, hopefully the videos have gotten better since then.
Yeah. True.
And C, I'm glad nobody's told you yet that there are funny videos of dogs and cats on the internet, because once you discover that, you'll probably never come back to these videos. And who could blame you with videos like this? And this. So, yeah, but now that we have gotten all cleaned up, I think it is time to go eat.
Oh yes, I'm rumbly in my tumbly. Time for something sweet.
Oh my goodness. So we just got done eating brunch, kind of brunch / lunch at Magnolias, and I'd heard really great things, and I was trying to find us a good place to go before we drove down here, like find a good place to go for brunch, and there's plenty of places. But honestly, when I saw that Magnolias had banana pudding stuffed French toast, I was like, I'm sold. That's what I'm getting, and I'm sold. Like, we're going there.
And we got there and we first tried
it's a Deep South egg roll.
Yes.
And it had chicken and like
greens,
collard greens, and ham. It said ham on there.
Peach chutney on top with mustard.
Yes, and it was so good. I mean, and it was great because it was already split in two, so it was perfect for like two people to split.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful. And then of course, like I said, I had to get the banana pudding stuffed French toast, and it came with bacon. And I mean, I can't even describe the crispiness of the bread. Like it was just like that perfect, I don't know. It was awesome.
It was really good. Yeah. And then I got the seafood and grits, which is their take on shrimp and grits. So it had shrimp and scallops, and it was so good. And I got the half order, and I think Lauren was worried if it was going to be enough. And
I didn't say anything at the time.
The half order was huge.
Yes.
So if you get the full order, be ready.
Or be ready to split it.
Wear your stretchy pants.
Yeah.
I just gotta change my pants. What was I thinking? Jeans have no give.
But it was all so good. we've been eating like Iggy Azalea the past couple of meals here.
I'm so fancy.
And now the rain has let up.
Yes, finally.
So I think it's time to start exploring Charleston a little bit. And we've also got this one that's gonna do some exploring with us. Lily, you ready to go exploring? So we walked over to the pineapple fountain. But on the way, we came across Bootlegger Coffee Company, which makes Profit. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's the little Dutch pancakes. So what better way to warm up a rainy Charleston day than with Belgian chocolate drizzled mini pancakes and Nutella. You knew.
These are the Belgian chocolate, and boy do they look yummy. Super chocolatey, super fluffy. Yeah, they're awesome.
And I've got the Nutella, and they're warm. I mean, they're hot. They make them fresh right out of the little mini pancake griddle. Man, these are awesome. They definitely lived up to the hype.
On our tour yesterday, our tour guide was talking about how in Charleston, they have the 75-year rule, which means that after 75 years, so like if it's 2022 right now, then anything 75 years or older, you can't change the exterior of the house. And what's crazy is that even includes like light fixtures. So as you can tell, this is gas. So they can't change the exterior of it, so it's not like they can put in electrical lights, like they have to keep it as gas. And we were just talking about how it feels like it gives this really cool ambiance of Charleston when you walk around or drive around and you see all these gas lights and they twinkle, I don't know, like it just gives a really cool vibe.
Our tour guide gave us a pretty cool story about Rainbow Row, not Rainbow Road. That's Mario Kart. This is Rainbow Row here in Charleston. And if you've visited Rainbow Row, you can thank Susan Pringle Frost. She was the organizer and the first president of the Charleston Preservation Society. Rainbow Row, this whole area used to be commercial businesses, and now it's all residential space. It exists because Susan Pringle Frost made it a point to save this part of town from being destroyed, and as well as many of the other buildings houses, homes you see here in Charleston. For it to be able to preserve its beauty and history, Susan Pringle Frost deserves a lot of credit for that. And our tour guide was telling us that currently there's
no plaques or anything, like they don't really like recognize her, because back then like she was definitely a different type of lady. Like she never married, and you know she did a lot of things.
She was one of the first suffragettes of Charleston and South Carolina. She was one of the first people to get her driver's license in South Carolina or in Charleston.
Yeah, because like women couldn't get driver's license, and then she just kept showing up trying to get one, and then finally they gave her one. But yeah, she was just such an influential person that it's kind of crazy that our tour guide was saying that like she's not really recognized for anything that she's done.
Yeah, so I mean, you'll probably see her name on different preservation plaques, but it sounds like there's nothing purely dedicated to her and what she's done for Charleston. So definitely wanted to shout her out and also share a little bit of her story. Right at the beginning, end of Rainbow Road, depending on which direction you're coming, is the tavern, which has been here since 1686. It's even existed through the Prohibition, where it was a barber shop where men would come in and leave not with a haircut, but with a bottle of aftershave. And it's been here right down this road is the port, so sailors come in, and this would be one of the first stops they would make. Another cool story is on liquor stores here in South Carolina, you'll always see a red dot, and red dot means liquor store. So we walked down to the Battery, and we are here at White Garden Park. And remember when Lauren said the rain had let up after we ate? Well, that didn't last very long.
I don't think the heavy stuff's gonna come down for quite a while.
It has been a soggy walk down here. One of us seems to still be having a good time. That one also is a complete disaster and a mess with mud and
Dirt and
all over.
rain.
So that'll be fun whenever we head back to the car. We're here at the harbor where the Battle of the Ironclads were. So the Merrimack and the Monitor, famous ironclads.
To get out of the rain, we're gonna go over to Charleston City Market. I've been there once before. They have a lot of cute shops and just like different things, and but unfortunately they don't allow dogs, so I think it's just gonna be me that goes in there.
So after walking around Charleston most of the day in the rain, we went back to our hotel for a bit, and then we walked in the rain some more. But I believe it's going to be worth it because we have come to Leon's.
It's gonna be worth it because seafood.
We're pretty excited for this. More seafood.
I got char-grilled oysters, which look great, and they came with some toasted bread. Oh, it looks so good. And then I also got fried catfish and scalloped potatoes, which these potatoes look, look at it. It looks awesome. All right, I'm gonna go with the potatoes first. They look super cheesy. Oh yeah. It's like potatoes with like a whole block of cheese on top. It's awesome.
So these scalloped potatoes that Lauren got, they're $4 extra as a side. Do it. It's worth it.
Okay, all right, I'll do it.
All right, now, it's been a while since I've had char-grilled oysters, but they're world famous here, so gotta have them, right? Woo. So much Parmesan, so much butter, and then try some catfish. I like that they're catfish nuggets, so I don't even have to like cut them. Oh man. That is good. And it's not like super fried. It's just like, I feel like it's lightly fried. I don't know, but it's It's really good.
And I didn't mess around. I saw they had world famous oysters. And that's all I got. I got a dozen of them. It's lemon, parsley, butter. These things are going to be awesome. These are so good. So we just left Leon's, and oh boy, was it awesome. I loved the environment, the atmosphere, or the vibe that they have going on there. It's really casual, a lot of fun. The menu was a lot of fun with sections called cheapish wine, cheapish beer.
Yeah.
I also, if I hadn't had my heart set on the world famous char grilled oysters, I definitely would have got some chicken with champagne, because they haven't had a section on their menu talking about pairing chicken and champagne.
Which I'd never heard of before.
But now I want to go back
Yeah.
and pair that.
And then I'd heard that their hush puppies were really good. So, oh man, and they did not disappoint. And the honey butter that went with it was
Sometimes
awesome.
hush puppies can be so dry.
Yeah,
that-
these were not.
No, they were perfect.
They were, and sometimes they can be crumbly, but they weren't. Like they were great.
Yeah,
So
they-
definitely get them if you go.
Everything, the oysters, the catfish,
Well, yeah.
the potatoes, everything we had
Yeah.
was so good. And that's going to about wrap it up for the day here in Charleston. We still have a few things that we want to do here in Charleston, hopefully tomorrow morning if all goes according to plan, and nothing has really gone according to plan since we got here with the weather. Good morning. If you're thinking there's something different about them this morning in Charleston, it is because we had to dust off the sunglasses, because the sun is out, the sky is blue. We can't believe it. We got one more thing planned for our time here in Charleston. While we did our 2-hour walking tour, our tour guide took us by the Old Slave Mart here in Charleston and taught us a little bit about the history of slavery in Charleston. And while it is a sad part of Charleston's history, we've heard great things about this museum that we're going to go to. So
Yeah,
looking
and we
forward to it.
couldn't do it yesterday because they're closed on Sundays, so that's why we're doing it this morning.
Yeah. We just got out of the Old Slave Mart Museum here in Charleston. It took us probably about 45 minutes.
Yeah,
maybe.
I would allot maybe 45 minutes just to be on the safe side, but
It was definitely a sorrowful, I don't know if that's a word, but
just a sad experience. I mean, like
That-
it was important, but
it's sad to hear the stories
Yeah.
and see just a reminder about
all
everything that
happened.
slaves endured, and to hear stories about how families being split up and how slaves would try to negotiate to try to keep their families together from being sold separately. So it was a sombering,
Yeah,
sober.
but I think it's good to, if you can do these kinds of things, to learn about the history
would-
just of South Carolina.
I would definitely say it's a must do. It was
Yeah.
$8.
Yeah, but you can also do a combination ticket with the customs house.
Yes.
And you can do both. I don't know how long that one takes because we didn't have time to do that, so we just bought this ticket. But
Yeah.
if you're here and you have time, you could do both.
It was so eye-opening and fascinating to hear. But now it's time to get our stuff. That's going to do it for our time here in now sunny Charleston. But now we're going to head to our next stop here in South Carolina.
Now we are on our way to the capital of South Carolina, Columbia. We visit Congaree National Park, which unfortunately we can no longer show you.
What?
Visit some historical sites in our country's history, and you already know we will find some amazing food there.
So we walked down. I'm sorry. Look here.
I am.
I'm talking to myself.
Oh.
Okay.
You are my Everest.